boy, all day, Pam, right now it is, popping off as much rugby league information as possible. Right now, the 2015 Wooden Spoon in Australian Rugby League going to Newcastle Knights. Getting there now into the last 10 Wooden Spoons, and so you don't miss any essential rugby league information. Watching this video all the way through to the end, as per always. So, like I've said already, 2015, 2016 and 2017 Newcastle Knights Wooden Spoon three-peat. Now, this one in 2015 is absolutely ridiculous, absolutely quite bewildering, because, correct me if I'm wrong, drop a comment below and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe this is the only time ever in the history of Australian Rugby League that a team has led the comp at one point of the season, only to fall all the way down the ladder and end up with the Wooden Spoon. So it was nothing like their 2016 and 2017 Wooden Spoons, which they were always going to get, which they were brewed to the bottom from round one pretty much. 2015, Knights had actually won the first 4 games, believe it or not, but then only won 4 more games for the rest of the year. So they went from first all the way down to last in the same season. So I actually don't think that's ever happened before. Absolutely incredible. So the stats, Knights in 2015, they had 8 wins, 16 losses and 2 byes, 20 competition points. They scored 458 points for attack, conceded 612 in defence, 4 against minus 154. Leading try scorer Aquila Uado, who got 12. The leading point scorers Tyron Roberts, who got 3 tries, 54 goals, 120 points. And also Kurt Gidley, who got 6 tries, 13 goals, 50 points. So, it's absolutely baffling how they could play so well for the first 4 games. Obviously, it ended up being on borrowed time, but how they could play so well for the first 4 games and then pretty much do nothing for the rest of the season. So, for the moments in the sun, 8 games they did win. So, in 2015 round 1, Knights had beaten Warriors 24-14 in Newcastle. In round 2, they had trailed Cowboys 14-0, but came back for a hard-earned 16-14 win in Townsville. In round 3, they'd beaten Gold Coast Titans 2018 on the Gold Coast, and in round 4, they'd beaten Penrith 26-14 in Newcastle. So, those 4 wins, they were good, solid wins. Like they played good, gritty, tough, no-nonsense football, like nothing too flashy, nothing too special. Roll through your sets, just do everything properly. Wait for opportunities to come score your points, defend your line properly. They played really, really well. They played good, solid performances for the first 4 rounds, but then nothing. Then close to nothing for the rest of the year, which I just absolutely can't believe. So the only other 4 games that Knights won in 2015, in round 10, they'd beaten West Tigers 22-12 in Newcastle. In round 19, they'd beaten Gold Coast Titans 30-2 in Newcastle. In round 23, they'd beaten West Tigers 24-18 at Campbelltown Stadium. In round 24, in a gigantic Monday night boil-over, that knocked off Melbourne Storm 20-6 at Amy Park. But even then, even with the round 23 and round 24 wins, you might have thought those 2 wins near the end of the year would have given them enough petrol to avoid the Wooden Spoon before they flopped and lost in round 25 and round 26 to end up getting it. So, for a team to ever possibly lead the comp and then fall all the way down the ladder, gradually one step at a time, fall all the way down the ladder in the same season, you'd expect there to have to be a lot of embarrassing moments, a lot of humiliating moments, no less than 10 humiliating moments in 2015. My personal opinion is the last game, because it was the Wooden Spoon battle where they officially got it. But drop your comment below, which one do you think is the most humiliating moment? So, Newcastle Knights humiliating moments. Like I said, they'd won the first 4 games, and then they had 3 embarrassing moments in round 5, 6 and 7. So, obviously those 4 wins were on nothing but borrowed time. Obviously something was up, something was way off. In 2015 round 5, one of the all-time shockers, one of the very worst games I've ever seen in my life. Knights had lost to St George Illawarra Dragons 13-0 on Saturday night in front of their appalled home fans. Newcastle, not a single point in front of their home fans. And the only positive to emerge from that game was the fact that Dragons scored their 13 points, 2 converted tries and a field goal. Because Dragons were pretty much their own worst enemy too, and couldn't do anything right either. They just managed to get 13 points. Then in round 6, we had another all-time shocker, so pretty much the same story, just a different score. In 2015 round 6, Knights had lost to Cronulla, 22-6 at Shark Park on the Friday night game. And again, the only positive was the fact that Cronulla got their 22 points, because they were pretty ordinary as well. And Newcastle didn't get their only try via Aquila Uado. He didn't score their only try until the last few minutes of the game. So all that did was just mean they didn't get held scoreless again. And then round 7, they did score some points this time in round 7. In round 7, they led Parramatta 12-0 early, got 2 very good tries early. but then nothing for the rest of the game, and eventually Parramatta came back to win 28-22. So things going bad from worse. After those first 4 wins, well, after these 3 horrible losses, rounds 5, 6 and 7, those 4 wins were a distant memory. And obviously a lot more embarrassing ones to come. Get this, in round 13, 2015 round 13, Canberra Raiders had rocked Newcastle 44-22 in Newcastle, and the Raiders' lethal weapon Blake Austin, one of the most live wire 5'8" we've ever seen. Blake Austin destroyed them, or carved them up like all on his own hand. He kicked at 40-20, he was making big tackles, big hits in defence, he was making line break assists, he was making try assists and scoring tries of his own. He just did as he pleased, toyed with them, tormented them, tortured them throughout the game. Phenomenal display by Blake Austin, and he'd do it again 5 weeks later. But before that, in 2015 round 16, unbelievably the exact same score, this time Brisbane Broncos 44, Knights 22 at Suncorp Stadium on the Friday night. Before, in 2015 round 18, Blake Austin destroyed Newcastle again. This time, Raiders beat Knights 36-22 in Canberra on the Friday night. And a lot of the times these days you see a player score 3 tries in the one game, 3 tries at some point in the game. But Blake Austin decided to score the first 3 consecutive tries in this one to give Canberra a handy early 18-0 lead, which was quite incredible. Carving up again, getting 3 consecutive tries, so I can play 18-0 early before they eventually won 36-22. Not long after that, humiliation. So 2 humiliations from Blake Austin. In round 20, Knights were slaughtered by South Sydney 52-6 at the Core Stadium. In round 21, thumped 46-24 by St George Illawarra at Congress. That's twice Raiders and Dragons both embarrassed them, twice in the same season. Before they had their wins against Tigers in round 23 and Storm in round 24. But just to finish the season, in round 25 they lost to Bulldogs 2018 in Newcastle. In round 26 it was an official wooden spoon battle, just like the Tigers-Eels spoon battle in 2024. And in 2015 we saw Penrith Newcastle game at Penrith on the Saturday afternoon, which I was fortunate enough to attend that game. And the loser was going to avoid the spoon and the winner was going to get it. It was crystal clear. It was that simple. Win and avoid the spoon, lose and get the spoon. And Knights were running, I was sitting on the goalpost, Knights were running towards me in the first half. And they actually played pretty well in the first half and led 12-8 at half time. But unfortunately, it summed up their season because, they played well early, just like the first 4 games of the year, and they led 12-8 at half time. But then they did nothing in the second half, just like they did hardly anything the rest of the season. They didn't get a point in the second half, and the score ended up Penrith 30, Newcastle 12 in the 2015 round 26 wooden spoon battle at Penrith Stadium. So there. Now, even with all that humiliation, right? Even with all that humiliation, all that tragedy, it wasn't even half as humiliating and as tragic as the 2016 wooden spoon that Newcastle got. Because believe it or not, they managed 1 draw and 1 win, and that was all they could muster in 2016. In 2016 round 3, they had a 24-all golden point draw with Canberra in Newcastle, and in round 6, they beat West Tigers 18-16 in Newcastle before losing 18 consecutive games to finish the season. Believe that or not. So 2016 wooden spoon going to Knights coming up. Next, 2017, well, they won 5 games, they at least won a little bit better, but still got the spoon. For 2018, they got off the bottom of the ladder at long last. They haven't got another wooden spoon since 2017, since this 3-peat. So there you go. If you're still watching all the way through to the end, as per requested, thank you so much for ongoing, polarising, brutal, malevolent, sick, twisted support. And most of all, thank you so much for not missing any essential rugby league information. Your boy all day, Dale 47 to tomorrow.